How are you doing?
It's been long. How are things?
Good. How are you doing? Are you going to let me speak today?
I was like hoping I would. I've written it down. Key Zip, let him ask, and then I will talk.
Good. Happy to see you. It's been a while. So
Yeah.
what's happening? What are you up to lately?
Lately, I finished CQF in January. I got my results in March, and I've got my charter also. I've got the charter in mail, and then hopefully it will be arriving. The certificate will be arriving soon. I've applied for CFA as well. I told you I want you as one of my referral kind of thing. And otherwise, I'm working now with JP Morgan. I'm an associate there with their treasury product control team.
Wow. So CQF is done.
CQF is
That's
done. Yeah.
that's great. You're on steroids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. So
Mm.
so Vidya, let's give it a little bit of structure, right? So
Ah.
this name of the show is Coffee Careers in More.
Mm.
We're trying to explore career trajectory of a lot of people in finance to
Yes.
kind of provide some sort of a inspiration to
Yes.
people who are looking for opportunities. So it's a little bit of discovery, a little bit of inspiration.
Yes.
Discovery in terms of know-how, playbook,
Yes. Yeah.
and inspiration in terms of people like you who'd inspire us. So let's get on with it. Let's start with your background, Vidya, because
Ah.
if I remember well, you had taken a break for a few years.
Ah.
I think when we met for the first time, you were in
Yes.
Middle East,
Yes.
and you had taken a break for a few years, and then you did all these courses, and now you're working, as
Yes.
a hotshot treasury manager with a large investment bank. So tell us a little bit about your journey from the beginning,
Okay.
maybe graduation.
Yes. I'm basically born and brought up in Kerala. So that's where I completed my graduation. And then I was very eager to, I like to study and I want to pursue. I'm a very little ambitious. So that way I'm a postgraduate in maths. I've completed BSc maths and then I got married. And then the only thing that only condition or the only thing that I told my husband was like, I want to pursue further studies. There was no he's a kind of person he doesn't have any problem with that. So post my marriage, I went ahead and did my master's in operations research, and that's when I completed my MBA there. Simultaneously,
Where
then
was that?
I did it in Bharathidasan University, and it's in Trichy, Tiruchirappalli.
Okay.
So that was like all in sync in 2001 and 2004. It was way back. So that was all a continuous part of studies. And then my husband moved to Oman because he got a nice profile there. So obviously I had to go along with that. Then I got pregnant. Then I had two kids. And then I wanted to take a break because I wanted to be the person who mold their childhood very easily flexible kind of kids. So it's better you mold them at childhood. So I wanted to take that break. And I was very clear that unless and until my child is 5 years, I don't want to go back to work. So I have two kids, I have two daughters. And once my second one she completed around 4 years, I started looking out. So that was one of the problems. Okay, actually, off topic, I'm telling you, it's one of the great things that you're doing right now is because back in that time when I wanted to go back to work, I didn't have somebody like you or me to have to discuss something like what are the prospects or how could I get back to work? What should I be doing to go back to work? And it's amazing that you're doing something like this. I wish I had somebody like me or you at that point of time. I've always thought about that. So, okay, coming back to that
Hmm.
2014. So, when I started circulating my
So
resume,
this was a
I
break
found
for, sorry, I'm
9
cutting in
years.
between. How
Yeah,
many years?
9 years I had a break.
Wow. Okay.
9 years I had an actual break. Like I was sitting at home driving around, then kids would go to school and that kind of story. So it's like completely at home. So by the time my second one was 5 years, I started circulating my resume. So this was back in 2015. So that time my career break was around 5 years. So then I was very clear I had to get back to work. But then when I would pitch my resume to a lot of people, they had somebody with similar qualification but younger. So they at that point of time it was always like me versus somebody who's a fresh graduate and they are up to the market also. So then I understood that for me to get back to work, it was very important that I be up to the market and understand what's going on in the market so that I have something to discuss or I have something to put forward. then I searched for a lot of courses. That's how I ended up with CFA. But one problem with CFA was finance. I've never seen a balance sheet, or I don't know the B of balance sheet. So before even enrolling something, I started searching for balance sheet. How I don't even know there was an asset and liability team at that. Like I don't even know even I'm using the correct jargons also. Okay. So I didn't know there were two sections and those things. Then almost like around 1-2 months, I sat and understood what a balance sheet was. So that I can pick up this course. That's when I got to know about FinTree's level 0 course. No, that's amazing. It had very basic understanding of markets, derivative markets, accounts, and all those things. So that's how I got in touch with FinTree, Vaibhav, and everybody. And now I'm part of your family.
Yeah, and we're happy to have you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's how it started.
So 2014 is when you started with CFA, right? 2014 you started
16,
with CFA.
16.
2016.
Yeah.
So 2014 you decided, okay, let me try and do something. So it took you a couple of years to discover CFA.
Yes, very much, because in Middle East, I think down towards this side itself, I think CFA is something. Can you believe when I said somebody to something that I'm doing CFA, they were like, "Why would you want to waste something? Why do you want to waste money on CFA? Because it's like going to cost you so much, and nobody knows even the full form." I have even handed over my resume to a very reputed firm, and then he took up, and then he was so happy to see a CFA. I was like, okay, art, so I'm going to get a job. Then he said, sit down and explain what is the full form of CFA. So this is how things were when I started up, and I was having a lot of self-doubt whether should I or should I not, because and this time all belongs to my children. Okay, I'm taking away that precious time from them, and I want to invest in myself. I was not very sure what are the how this is going to end up, and what are your scope hai nahi hai, that also I don't know.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you discovered CFA on internet, or someone recommended you that maybe you should consider doing it?
No, to be very honest, I just Googled top 10 toughest courses. Then one of them was CFA. That's how I landed on CFA. And then I told you this, one of the reputed firm where I went and handed over my resume, there was a guy who did CFA. And apparently we had a discussion, and then
this was way back when we were in Middle East, right?
Yes.
Right.
Oman. I was in Oman. Yes.
And then you started with your CFA level 1, 2, 3. So did you do this full time, or you got a job along with studies?
So I was not working. I was definitely at home. Actually, I was sitting at home taking care of my kids. I would leave them to school, come back, sleep, and then I would study in the night because I needed that peace. So that's how the 3 years.
So 3 years of CFA. Now CFA exams are done. Then what made you decide that you wanted to come back to India? How did you get your job? Because I've heard like a lot of women who take career breaks, for them it becomes relatively challenging to enter the workforce again. Though I know that investment banks have these programs, right? Specifically for women who are coming back to workforce.
I see a lot of these programs now, like the companies I'm working or I have worked, they actually started introducing but then they have a limitation. One issue that I've spoken up also, their career break starts with a 2 to 5 years. So I've told them to consider, there are people who would want to come back after a longer period of time break. Like I have a 9 years, I wouldn't fit into their category of returnee of 2 to 5 years. So that is one of the issues. But now it's amazing how these people are actually even conducting a program to have people back from women back from break and that kind of thing. At least it's accepted and people are talking about it. It's amazing that how things have changed now.
But how did you get your break? So that time there wasn't any program when you applied.
There was no program. Yeah.
This was in which year?
2018 June I completed. Then I started interning in a very nice bank in Oman. I was in their asset management department, and they would handle huge portfolios. Somebody would walk in with money and they'll say, I need this kind of return. So what would you suggest investing? So again, I'm an intern. So my work was stand there, listen, and I wouldn't be into active participant of anywhere. I would suggest, but it was okay. But but then their rules and regulations are entirely different over there. That is one reason, and that is one of the main reasons that I wanted to get my chartered, because I put my effort of like 3 years to study, and then I wanted a charter. And to get a charter, CFA Institute does not have to have proper like decision making skills. No, that kind of profile I think it should be. So that's when I decided, let me come back to India, and every day morning religiously I would sit in LinkedIn, apply for like around 1 hour. I like every day 12 jobs, 30 job applications. But one thing I've done is, whoever has posted, I'll ping them and say that, see, this is the job application I have applied. Do you think you can have a look into this kind of profile? Like that, once when Barclays had posted for an analyst opening, Barclays Chennai had posted for an analyst opening, but they were very keen on having chartered accountants. So I had pinged that manager, I remember his name, he's an amazing guy. So I pinged them saying that, see, this is my story. I have a 9-year career back, but I've completed my CFA. I hope that this makes you understand that I'm really keen to get back to it. With no hesitation, he called me and he said, so are you want to come back? And I said, yes. Still, they were not very clear why would I move for a job like that. But then I went, I put my kids in, I got admission for my kids. I showed them that, see, I've got them admitted in a school in Chennai. See, this is how it works. Then there was no problem. And then I got my offer letter in February 2019. I joined Barclays in March 2019. So one thing I tell problem, but keep thinking that person, or just get in touch with that person. See, tell him that this is your aspiration or what you want to do.
Hustle. Good. So basically, you're saying you created this opportunity for yourself by applying on LinkedIn to a ton of different jobs.
Yes.
That's how you eventually got it.
Yes.
Right. So it's been what, 3 years now you're in India?
Yes.
Working more or less at the same firm?
Yes. I was working with Barclays. Now I'm in Barclays was in Chennai. Now I'm working at JP. It's in Bangalore.
Oh, you moved to Bangalore?
To Bangalore, now. Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry, you told me, I forgot. Yes, now I remember. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. And what's your profile now?
Now also I'm in product control. I've always been in product control. I moved to India to get this profile only. It's about market, how the PNL is made. But now I'm into a banking book kind of setup, like treasury PNL. Not a very like exciting, It's very like calm and quiet here. Yeah, I love my peace.
So, okay. Tell us a little bit about what product control is all about. I've spoken to a lot of people over the years. My understanding is it's basically preparing P&Ls and doing valuations.
Yeah.
But give us a little more insights into what interesting stuff happens there.
Oh, it's actually amazing. Okay, specifically when the market goes haywire, you will know. You are the first person to know. Okay, something has gone wrong. What has gone wrong? So then you start searching Google, internet, and all those things. No, what has gone wrong? And you see the PNL. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? So then this is market making. If you're into market making, this is what happens. Like yesterday, the trader would have done some trades and he'll say, see, for example, I'm expecting XY. And he'll say, see, I'm expecting XY. So next day I come, we do it on a T+1 basis. Yesterday he's done the trade. Today I go and verify whether the numbers that he sees is what the numbers I also see. So I go independently verify, see what is the curve, how the curves are moved, what is his position, what is his exposure, and then I come to a conclusion saying that either what his numbers XY is likely to be what I see, or if there is any variance, probably it's because of the cutoff. Probably you marked it as London cutoff and then it went ahead and traded in New York. So there is this price variance because of which there could be. So if it's huge, then you sit and investigate why it could be and what could be the reasons why he marked some number and I could see some other number. It's very interesting when it comes to real market events. There are some days when I see huge numbers and then you start searching, Googling, then you understand what's gone wrong. And there's one particular incident on 2010 March. Usually what happens in product control is we get on a call with our traders. Whenever, so he'll tell you, see, this is my expectation about the market or something. Like, down the lane, he'll tell me, see, I intend to do this. He'll not tell you, ki, I want to go long short or something. He said, no, my market view is like this, and these probably are the things I'm going to do. So this 2020 March, I had a call with my trader. I think 8:30 p.m. in the night. It's London. I was covering London area. So 8:30 p.m. in the night. That was supposed to be his last call. So I was trying to reach out to him. He didn't pick up. He's but amazing guy. Okay, he never comes even a minute late. Unlike me, I catch up late and then I apologize and then he's amazing on time kind of guy. And so I called him. He was not picking. And then he called me back and he said, Vidya, I don't know whether you've noticed there's this COVID crash going on. I don't think I can talk to you for the next 2-3 days. That's when I realized actually that the markets have crashed because of COVID and things and all those things. So this first hand kind of, unless and until you Google or go and get to hear this kind of information, it's you will see actually how worlds change and things change overnight. How amazing it is actually, that kind of experience that you need to work, okay? That you need to work in this kind of line to understand how things are happening.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
But isn't it, okay, again, just being devil's advocate, but isn't what trader is doing a little more exciting than booking and accounting for his trades back here in India?
Definitely, definitely. But I think if I had the right guidance, I could have done something better. But with my given opportunities, I'm extremely happy doing what I'm doing right now, understanding the market. If I'm telling if somebody walks up to me and they are at the right age and they want to do something, I'll be the first person to go and encourage, start doing things like this. But me, I have my family, I have my priorities, my little thing. I want to give myself some more time. That's a high pressure job, and I can see sometimes the way they talk. I feel so bad because that's their profile and that's the way they are built. But I'm not like that. But I definitely encourage people to start doing things like that. I'm really happy the way I am and peaceful at getting things done and things like this. But it's definitely true. But then again, if you have a guy who talks to you about what is going on, that's also, I think, fairly reasonably sufficient for you to get that kind of information.
So this product control profile, Vidya, does it require a lot of accounting and derivatives, or what kind of skill sets one need to have in this profile?
See, when I joined Barclays after a break, most of them were chartered accountants. So they were aware of, I had no, ICO derivatives, something. I was so scared of the term ICO derivatives they would use. I was like, my God, I'm like gone and this is not my field. I used to panic. And then I got to know that intercompany derivatives. And like, oh, wow. So it's just jargon. Okay, these people use jargon. It's just simple accounting. I told left is 100, right has to be 100. There is nothing above or beyond that. It's just took me definitely a lot of time to understand. But definitely, product control does not need accounting kind of profile. They want you to understand what happens when you are long a call or short something. If that's your profile, like if your trader is doing into derivatives or something, that's but if your trader is into equities or fixed income, then you have that background or you have at least have the theoretical knowledge. I think they are pretty good with that also. So it's definitely not an accounting kind of profile, but it will require you to have a little number crunching. That's saying that, okay, if now this is your risk and your curve mode by this month, so your PNL should be attributed to gamma, delta, theta, that kind of thing, which is definitely what you have taught me in CFA.
Yep, I hope so. So you're saying that for a product control profile, you need much more of derivatives and maybe a little bit of accounting, right? That's what the profile is all about.
Accounting is really minimum. If your trader is trading in the options or something, then you need derivatives. If you are reporting for an equity set, fairly broader understanding of the equities is also fairly reasonable. Or you just need to apply logic. I don't think they need you to have this accounting kind of knowledge at all. Okay, so that's generally the perception. I think once you're a product control, you're expected to have A, B, C. That's not. You have to have that understanding of how a product works or how a market works. You're good with that. That's all. Nothing more you need about that.
Understood. Okay. All right. Let's talk about CQF now.
Let me start with CQF then. So I was so overconfident when that when I started CQF, CQF was only very broad.
Tell us a little bit about what CQF is first.
Okay. CQF is the name is Certificate in Quantitative Finance. So how I approach CQF is generally when I switch a job, I'll go to a company that I want to apply. Like For example, I was in Barclays, I wanted to apply in JP. So I check what are the kind of profile. I'm a product controller. I've always wanted to go be a product controller. So to be a product controller, what are the qualifications they require? CFA is primarily /CQF diya hoga. Sometimes JP or Goldman gives you a /CFA /CQF. So that's when I got to know that there is some course like CQF. So I started searching what is a CQF. And CQF has only three subjects. Okay, one is Python. Okay, that's one is Python, second is finance, third is math. And I was like, 2/3 I'm already covered, just 1/3 I'm going to finish it like this. That's not how it was. It was like, I am being a postgraduate in math. It is all about the integration and derivative. And can you believe they derived that Black-Scholes model and this? Okay, it is extensively maths, and you should. I ran back to my basics. Then I started picking up Taylor series and all those kind of things. I started brushing up. That was like really embarrassing because I was like, oh, maths just come to me. I'm like so cool. But then this, chattered everything. But thankfully, finance covered it for me, and I had to go and then start. I started revising my degree, graduation maths, Taylor series, and how do you even expand E raised to something comes with an integration? I was lost. Then I did for like that, I took 1-2 months to go through that course and then started revising. They have like to access your maths, they have a first maths test. Initially to get into that program, they'll have a maths test with around, I think 25-30 number of questions. You'll be required to take them and submit. So, but one good thing about CQF is, for me is it is an open book exam. So, you'll get the paper, you have to give it the answers like down
just one exam.
Initially, for writing the
like a eligibility test, like an eligibility test.
I don't think they judge you based on that, but they just want to understand what is your level of math, so that they'll understand if you want to come back with a query or not, probably. So that was like a little more difficult, but it was basic math. So I went back to my BSc graduation Taylor series, how to expand E raised to kind of thing. Then I read through that, and then math exam was good. But once you start thing, it is like, and one amazing thing about the CQF is actual people who write the books, where you heard about people and those kind of people who write the books. Those people come and give you lectures. So it's like that first-hand experience, how they did the trade. There was actually a guy who was a trader with JP Morgan for 16-17 years, and now he's doing something else. That guy came and told me about, first derivative, second derivative. It was an amazing session, So when you sit into that and then you listen to them, then you'll get to understand the trader's perspective also, how they work and how. So that you need another thought level process. He actually was telling me how he developed a few models and that kind of thing, just amazing how to hear all those lectures. But coming to, not amazement and actual work. So there are 3 exams and 1 final project. So 3 exams and 1 final project. So first exam has mostly maths and
all online exams.
No, sir. They'll give you the question and then you have to. It's all open book.
Right, and the whole course takes about a year.
No, it's 8 months. Like June 2021, it starts. May you'll have to give that maths exam, and January will be your project, which will be numbered, and then you'll be given your results by April. I got my results last month I got, yeah.
And how many CQFs are there in the world? I don't think there are a lot. How many of them are there in India?
It seems like there was a discussion this time saying that this was the highest, and it's like a 6 months term. Okay, so I was in the later part of 2021, so I'm in the June 2021 cohort. So when we had a discussion, but one thing is you can extend this course for about 3 years. Matlab, ab ek exam abhi doge, you can give the next 2 exam and the project later. You can tell them I'm going to defer. I have some work to do or something like that. So that is totally deferable, and you can take it in a period of 3 years. So when I started off, there were around 118 people across the world. But I think Charter was awarded for around 50 to 60%. Most of them deferred. That's what I was trying to say.
How many people you said? How many people?
50 to 60%.
No. How many people?
118.
118, 18.
118, and that was the highest of all these CQF things till now.
So, which means roughly, let's say if I average it out, they're doing about 200 people are signing up for the course.
Yes, in a year, and they would have started since around 10 years. So
yeah, so 50 to 60% means, let's say, about 100 people passing a year.
Yeah.
So about less than 1,000 CQF certification holder in the world.
Oh, that actually makes me feel great. Is it? Okay, then I have to put that out then. See with.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the maths, I think that's what most probably the number is, right?
That's so amazing. Okay.
But again, the way you want to think of it is you never look at the price, right? You look at the price and you look at what value you get for it. So a lot of people would say that CQF is a substitute for a MS in quantitative finance.
Yes. That's right? Again, if that's your field now, sir, I wanted to go into modeling. I want my trader to come and say, this is something that somebody came and asked me. I want to give this to him. Can you price it for me and tell me what will be a profit and give me the price at which I should quote. So that kind of profile will be really, like, people who want to go into that kind of profile, it will be really useful because it teach you how to price, what are the things that you should consider, or tumko permutation combination bhi milega when you bring in all those Monte Carlo simulations and kind of things. But me being something into, if you're specialized into some part of finance or some part of modeling, this course definitely helps. And the certificate I heard is like of immense value. When I spoke to 2-3 people in JP, they were like, oh, acha, like there is a course like this, and oh, is it so? So the awareness is a little on the lesser part, but definitely it's something I hope it will catch up. And
yeah. But I think it's more pronounced in European markets. Is that not true?
London. Yeah. I've heard that, because that's required also in certain fields where they want to do something also. There are few people in my cohort who are doctors, and they actually picked up CQF to understand how some blood stream flows or something. And I was like amazed at the kind of application it does. They were trying to understand ki yahan pe pump karo, ite kahan pe ja raha hai. Half of it went over my head, but the application that Python and this machine language brings into anything and everything is amazing. So that's hopefully.
So after the course, Vidya, how tangible is your skill set now? Can you write a code, for solving some real life problems now? Or can you at least design the architecture? Like, how confident do you feel with your machine learning skills?
Machine learning is okay, but the problem is machine learning is very broad. Like, you can use specific things to get your things done. But in that, if you need customization, you have to know Python. My Python skills are like 3 months hardly, but it is something that I really want to invest in. So if you are into that kind of language, and if you think you can do coding, it's an amazing certificate to get, and it has a lot of applications. I am very skeptical about my Python skills, and if somebody is doing something in 1 hour, I will take like 3 hours. GitHub mein, I have to go search for it, and so that difference, basic difference is something that I would really, want people to consider that.
Right. So you're saying it's more suited to someone who already has a tech background.
Yes, very
and
much.
Then maybe trying to build finance layering on top of it.
Yes.
Then I think it will work better.
Yeah. I think here in this Python and machine learning is 60%, and maths is like around 30%. 10 is finance. So if you're worried about...
So finance is not much.
No. It's basically like how you apply. Option में क्या होता है? Sir, A plus B will give you C. अगर option में हो या maths में हो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. They'll tell you like how an option. CFA is very broad in that aspect. Like, it covers a lot of market, and it asks you that kind of nitty-gritty chahiye usme. In this, you have just to have a broad understanding. What is a call? What is a put? What will happen if you go down? So will it be called back?
So you don't need much of finance.
Nothing. Maths is something that you need, definitely. Logic-based maths. Again, Python is something, if you're already in that kind of background, please, I would really suggest it's something. It's really great, and the kind of windows or doors it opens is amazing. You can use your creativity to build.
See, the problem is, I think the price point, right?
Yes.
7.5 lakh, I think wipes out 99% of the population. I don't think
Obviously.
most of the people will be able to afford
Yes.
doing something like this.
Yes.
And freshers wouldn't do it. They wouldn't look at this as a substitute to MS in finance, because then
Yes.
you get to live in the US or UK for a couple of years. So you
Yes.
don't get all of
Yes.
this.
Yes.
And how did you take any coaching for it, or how does the learning system work?
They have their own designated teachers, but then I was very naive in Python, so I had one guy to come and teach me Python exclusively on Saturday, Sundays. So he is a data scientist with GE. He's actually a full-time working professional, and Saturday, Sundays, I would run my code. Definitely, I'll get stuck, and then I'll call him. Then we'll have a session saying what is going on and how you could do things better. I needed some additional support, but for a person who has a fairly basic idea of Python, I think this would be their coaching itself would be.
So they themselves provide all the learning material,
They give
which
you
is
textbooks, and they have a designator. There's a Kannan karke, there's one teacher who teaches you Python. Then there are so many, Riyaz Ahmed who teaches you maths, and there are like 3, 4 designated teachers, and then there are guest lecturers. I told you there's this JPK trader who comes and then gives you and he provides a fairly reasonable understanding of how things otherwise work. They
interesting.
have teaching, they have live session, they'll give you previous years kya hua tha, previous years ka session bhi hota hai, and then they'll give you live sessions. So if you're not very happy or you might have missed out, you can always go back and refer to previous sessions, or they'll upload it in like another 2 or 3, like how FinTree also works, no? Live miss ho gaya, so I can go rewatch it, something like that. So that's
Okay.
there. And then if you think that you're not okay with some concepts, you can like book a Zoom session with them one-on-one.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, but then I was very embarrassed to go and admit that I'm not that great in Python. So I had somebody who will thoda sa kam gali Hindi mein dega. So it was working well with that.
Nice. Good. So CFA done, CQF done. What's the game plan going forward?
I definitely want to do FRM. Okay, I'm looking forward to do FRM. It's just, I don't know how amazing. Sometimes I miss learning things, new things. Once you're stuck in work, it's all this mundane, monotonous kind of routine. So to break free, learning is the best thing I've always felt, And if you're into product control and related fields, I think might as well do. I was not very sure about should I pick up FRM or CQF. And I thought, okay, let's do something different. And that's when I did CQF. Now I'm back to FRM, square one.
But it seems like you're in the business of collecting degrees. It's like
It's not like that, okay? It's just out of interest, out of curiosity. I love how market works and to see that, I'm very happy when I understand a lot of new things and how things work. And that's really great. You understand the perspective also why certain things work. That's all. Yeah. That's all. There's no. I wish I'm in that degree collection mode, but I'm now toned down. I can't take it sometimes.
So see, as long as you're doing it because you want to learn,
yes.
I think that's a fair objective. But the moment, because I see a lot of people these days, right? So it's almost like a cult that if I'm writing CFA, I have to write FRM also.
Okay.
It's a cult. It's everyone wants to do it. So people come and ask me, Utkarsh, how do I plan CFA and FRM together? Which level should I write first? Which level should I write second? I said, my first question to you is like, why? Before you decide how, first you decide why, right? Answer me, why do you want to do it? Like, aise karna hai, I want to have a great career, therefore I want to do multiple certification. Doesn't make sense, right? I mean, just because you have multiple certification doesn't mean you have great career.
No, there are few leaders and amazing teachers in my current and ex organization who have nothing to do with CFA or FR. The way they analyze something is something that I look up to. I'm like, I have like 2, 3 qualifications. I'm showing them. They have none, but it's amazing for you to read. It's just your passion. It's just your understanding. I don't think it's definitely CFA helped me enter into a career. Okay. But after that, how I grow in a career is something that I am like, I have invested time in something, or it's my enthusiasm or my motivation which goes on. Initially, it's just that. But seriously, even I've seen like get a few calls saying that, can you tell me how? I said, I'll definitely tell you, but are you sure? I feel bad, like, अरे इतना motivated है, मैं उनको demotivate क्यों करूँ? मतलब, why should I demotivate people? No, okay, you want to do, but then it does not matter. Like, you're both in the same level. There's nothing new you're going to bring into the table. So that's really something that I also see. Like, CA, CFA, CS, and like, what do you need all these for? I don't know. But then, okay, I'm not judging because I'm one of them. So I'm all quiet.
Yeah, okay. All right, good. I think this has been interesting. Anything you want to add, Vidya? You want to this video, by the way, will be put up on YouTube. A lot of FinTree students, finance students will be watching it. So do you want to give, and especially a lot of working women or women who've taken break like you would probably find some inspiration with your session. So do you want to give any message to them?
There are two things I always tell people. Okay, your starting may not always be good. It does not matter. Okay, by the way, it's Kung Fu Panda 2 dialogue also. It's something that I take personal inspiration from. Okay, you may not have a good beginning. It does not matter. From now onwards, what you decide to do, it's totally in your hands. Just pick up. You should not have that regret down the lane. No, 6 months, 1 year down the lane, I should have chosen that path, or I should have done that. No matter, it does not matter. Just pick up, start doing, things go wrong, you can go back to where it was. It does not matter. But try, put that effort, at least try, that you can feel good that, okay, I tried, it did not go right. It's absolutely no problem. And it's seriously, I'm telling you, because there are so many things in this world that you can do, that every day is a clean slate. You just pick up, start your day afresh, and then things will be all right. So get out of the status quo and then start trying something new if you want to. But do it because you want to. Don't do it because somebody else is. Everybody have their different career path and life path. And second thing is, please reach out if you have some. To me, definitely they will also. FinTree will also help you if you have, or if you're stuck with anything or anything. There are a lot of people who will ask me like, Acha, I'm at this, how to start with CFA, what are the subjects in CFA, how things do. So please reach out. There is absolutely no problem. As I told in the beginning of the session, that I was at this path. I always have wished that I have someone to tell me how things are going on. But please do reach out. There's absolutely no problem in spending time, or I can tell you how my journey was. And I can definitely tell you what not to do, because I've done that and I've already blundered. So don't do that. You can try different blunders. But definitely do reach out. If you have anything at all, please reach out. I can help you or suggest things that I have done, or I have seen things working for other people. Definitely. So don't have that doubt, or please reach out. There's absolutely no problem. That's all. Too much. Too much gap.
Great. Fantastic, Vidya. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for taking up the time.